What's up, everybody? Yule Moldauer here, and we are doing the second episode of Interviewing an Olympian. Last time on the show, we had Yule Moldauer, and we really thought maybe we can pick his head apart a little more. So this time, we're inviting him back, and I hope you guys enjoy the questions.
Hi, Yule. Welcome back. Thank you for coming on to the show again.
Hey, Yule, thanks for having me. So happy to be back.
So we want to pick your brain apart just a little more, just the mindset of an Olympian, a professional athlete. So the first question I have for you today is, how do you get through the lows, the mental blocks, the struggle? How do you get through that?
First, with the lows, I think you have to understand that not just as an athlete, but as just a normal person living life, you're going to go through lows, you're going to go through trials, and you have to understand that it's all part of the process, it's part of life, and the lows create who you are, the character you'll become, and the athlete you will be.
Wow, yeah.
Every athlete goes through a low, or lows, or injuries, or not being selected onto a team, and instead of getting frustrated, you have to understand that this is all part of the process. This is all part of your journey, and without the lows, you will never understand how high the highs are. If you just win every single competition, it might be satisfying, but it won't be as satisfying as if you go through a low, through a year or an injury, and you come back and you stand up on that podium and you remember everything that it took, with the sacrifice, the time, the injuries, the pain, the soreness, the waking up early. So all that kind of comes together, and that's how you get to the lows. You have to understand that it's part of the journey. I always say the process is the product, and you have to understand that you can't always have high points. You gotta just keep on going like this. It's almost like a line graph. You have your high points, dip down, but then you come back even higher. Okay, I understand that. With mental blocks, actually, I still today go through many mental blocks. I actually remember in 2018 NCAA team finals, I was having the twisties, and I didn't want one single twisting skill on floor. And when I went and saluted, I literally just told myself, let's go, let's do this. I have to trust myself. And sometimes, when we get through mental blocks, we start overthinking. And for me, when I go through a mental block, I always try and take a step back, not think about it, and just remind myself that I've done this, thousands of times, and that my body knows what to do. And, even if that doesn't work, take a step back in the gym, have a spotter, have a mat slider, go on the trampoline and do a layout, then a half, then a full, and really just take your time and understand that a mental block isn't supposed to be forever. It's just a certain period of time, and the more you get frustrated, the more you think about it, the longer that it's going to take to push yourself to do that skill that you're having a mental block with. So try not to get frustrated. My advice is to take a step back, go back to the basics, and really just be confident in yourself. Even if you tell yourself, I can do this, and you go for it and you have another mental block, it's okay. Every single gymnast goes through this time, and it's all about the gymnast understanding that they just need to take the baby steps, be positive, and understand that, if you didn't do it today, you still have so many days in the week to get through them.
Wow, those are really good points. I really like what you said about the product is the process. I think no matter if you're an athlete or not, a lot of people struggle with lows. And to hear your mindset, I'm going to definitely use some of those in my day life. What is it like to travel internationally with the competitions and different teammates, and the different time zones? What is that all like to you?
I mean, traveling internationally, I think, is one of the greatest gifts that gymnastics provides. You get to meet all these different types of athletes and make all these different types of friendships, and you really get to just connect to people all over the world and see different cultures, and just be more grounded when you come back to the US, and be more grateful for things, and just see how other people live, and their traditions, their culture, their morals, all of it. So I think traveling internationally has really just opened my eyes to the world, and it's made me who I am. It's also built these relationships, not just in the US, but internationally, where I've been invited to weddings in France, and I've gotten to meet these really cool people in Germany that are my new teammates in the German pro teams over there, and I'll stay with them at their house. We'll cook meals. So traveling internationally is definitely a huge gift.
Oh, completely agree.
From the mental side, traveling internationally is really hard on the body, but in my mindset, I know that every other athlete is kind of going through the plane ride, the bus rides, the hotel, the switch of scenery, the different time zone. And I just think that's all part of my sport, and understanding that I signed up to be a professional gymnast. I signed up to want to go to these events, world championships, Olympic games, and that's part of being an athlete. You have to take on these certain difficult times and really just take them head on and attack them, and understand that this is part of the sport.
Traveling internationally has always been a dream of mine, but I really like how you said it's really important to see all the different cultures. I think it really will help people be more open-minded. So I think those are some great topics. Thirdly, what are your thoughts on leadership?
My thoughts on leadership, man, this is a tough one, but I think if you can be a natural leader, a leader that people want to follow instead of being forced, that's when you really become a true leader. And I think also being a great leader is leaving behind a legacy that the next generations will want to pursue and continue when you're not even in the picture. Being a leader is not being someone who is the biggest guy in the room or the loudest. It's the one who is following the goal, the mindset, the traditions, the culture, all of it. And it's doing it in a way that people look at you and want to take on that battle with you, because you're going through the same thing.
Nice.
I think leadership is actually a hard thing to talk about because it depends in every single scenario. But I think if you're a good leader, then you'll know your whole team, on a personal basis. Being a captain or being just a leader at 5280 right now, I really try and connect with all the guys personally and try and be on the same level as them, and not try and put myself on a pedestal and say, oh, I've been to the Olympics, I know what I'm doing. And instead, I kind of just stay quiet, work hard, listen to the coaches, make sure that I'm doing the same amount of things that they're doing, so when they look at me, they can relate and really want to do what I'm doing.
I totally agree with you that when you want to follow somebody, it feels more natural. And I feel like it will definitely influence people to follow you and carry what you taught them to generations behind them. So I really do like what you said about that. Fourthly, how do you recover? You're 27 years old, you want to compete at another Olympics. Tell me how you feel so young and healthy all the time.
I am 27, but I definitely don't feel that. For recovery, I go see my massage therapist once a week. I do red light therapy, electric shock therapy, Normatec, rolling out, stretching, certain rubber band exercises. But I think the big key part is the red light therapy and my massage therapist. She's actually really amazing. She used to work for the Baltimore Ravens, studied in Germany, but she's one of those people that has her own practices, but you're not allowed to just walk in. You actually have to be invited or referenced by someone that's been there. So if I reference one of my teammates, I can't just tell them, hey, go to this office and see if they have a time available. I actually have to make a group chat saying, hey, Robin, this is Dallas Hale. He just moved to my gym. I would like to know if you'd be willing to go meet him. So it's really like invite only. And she actually works with the CU basketball team right now, and she sees the world's strongest man. So she has a lot of high professional athletes that will actually fly into Colorado and see her. So she's amazing. But another thing about my rehab is, yes, I do all these steps, but another thing I think to gymnastics is you have to understand that you're going to go through certain pains and soreness. And yes, there's a certain amount that you can keep going and pushing through. And, that's just being smart and understanding your body. But I think you have to understand that every gymnast is going to go through wrist, back, ankle, knee injuries, and it's really up to you to see how much you can push yourself through and understand it's almost like a low. It's almost like obtaining and taking on something that hurts and understanding, okay, my knee hurts a little bit. I'll do basics on it and exercises on it, but I won't do the full pounding and work on it. I'll do rubber band exercises. So I think it's a variety of things and the mindset I have through my recovery.
Wow, you got to give me that number to get a massage because it sounds like they are pretty intense and it just keeps you in the right shape. So please send me that number.
Yeah, I'll definitely get you in contact with her.
You just got back from Germany from an international competition. What was that like and what are your thoughts afterwards?
We just got back from DTB. It was amazing competition with a lot of good countries there. Italy, Swiss, France, Germany, China, Japan, Australia. Honestly, a lot of teams that have already pre-qualified to the Olympics. So it was really nice to go to the first team competition of the year and really get that practice in, starting up first on horse. We're going to be the first session, first event is pommel horse at the Olympic Games. So to get that practice run through, it was really great. And to see all the guys, we're all out of college now. So we still had that NCAA mindset, but we also knew that it was just kind of a different role from our side. So it was really great to see the guys, and it was nice to come home as champions. But, you know, it's on to the next thing. You know, that's step one, get the first team competition under the belt. And now step two, go to Pac Rims. We'll be competing in Colombia. So, you know, the Olympics is right around the corner. So it was good to be back in a team competition for sure.
Well, first off, I want to say congratulations to you and Team USA. It's going to be an exciting year. I know the Olympics are just around the corner and Olympic trials. I wish you the best of luck and thank you so much for being on the show.
Yes, go Team USA, and thanks again for having me on. I'm so happy to be doing these.